Albert Einstein once called it the eighth wonder of the world. Those who truly understand its power are capable of becoming truly wealthy, even starting from scratch. Most of us have heard of compound interest in one form or another, but few realize how powerful it really is. To see this clearly, let's look at a simple example. Imagine that you invest $100 every week, earning an average of 8% per annum. In that case, it will take you about 12 years to save your first $100,000. At this stage, of course, you will already start earning some money, but this is clearly not enough to quit your job. Rather, it will resemble small amounts that will appear, and during this period, nothing particularly noticeable or inspiring will happen. Those who are patient, however, will eventually be rewarded richly. If you continue to invest $100 a week on a regular basis, it will take about 6 more years to double your capital and exceed the $200,000 mark. Yes, that's right. After about 18 years of constant investment, you will reach an amount of just over $200,000. It is a long journey that requires real commitment and discipline. You can compare this process to a slow climb to a financial mountain step by step, bill after bill of $100. And if you're serious and ready to keep going, then you should know that in order to reach the impressive milestone of $1 million, you'll need about 18 more years of stable $100 per week. In the first 18 years, you raise your first $100,000. It will take about 6 more years to double that amount and reach the $200,000 mark. And finally, after 36 long years of perseverance and loyalty to your plan, you will be able to celebrate the achievement of the cherished milestone, $1 million. Let's figure out how the burden is distributed between your own efforts and what the investment itself brings. In the first 12 years, when you strive to accumulate your first $100,000, the bulk of the result is your personal contributions. In fact, about $40,000 of that amount can be called earned through investment returns. The rest is the result of your hard work. At this stage, you feel like you're doing all the hard work yourself, and your investment is just starting to gain momentum. Yes, it's nice to get roughly $40,000 in passive income without any extra work, but in the initial stages, you are unlikely to feel the real drive and excitement of investing. Everything is just starting to unwind. As you enter the next 6 years and slowly approach the $200,000 mark, the real power of compound interest finally begins to show in all its glory. By the time you get to $200,000 mark, more than $100,000 will have been earned in interest, and your own contributions will be just over $90,000. Even if you only reach $200,000 mark, that's already halfway to $1 million. It's as if you're watching your financial garden slowly but surely transform into something amazing right before your eyes. When the second 18-year stage begins, the magic of compound interest begins to dominate your personal contributions. In this period, it is interest that becomes the main driving force of capital growth. By this time, your money begins to work for you, literally to the point of exhaustion, gaining momentum and multiplying rapidly. While you disciplinedly save about $180,000 out of your own pocket, the total value of your investment soars above $1 million. This clearly demonstrates that the power of saving isn't just that your money grows, it grows exponentially, many times more than what you could achieve through personal contributions alone. It's like watching a huge snowball rush down a mountain, getting bigger and faster every year. And what's really inspiring is that once you hit the $1 million mark, your investment starts earning around $80,000 in interest in just 1 year. Think about how many years it took you to save your first $100,000. And now, you're almost making the same amount in just 12 months. After that, the process becomes even smoother and more confident. By 36, you're crossing the $1 million milestone. And by 45, you're already worth more than $2 million, bringing in more than $160,000 annually. Most importantly, you don't have to risk everything or make drastic lifestyle changes. All it takes is saving $100 a week. It's like giving up one meal out or being a little more sensible when choosing a car. Such a small adjustment in day-to-day expenses can lead to an impressive financial result. It's worth noting that the S&P 500 index typically shows returns above 10% per annum, but for this example, we're using a more conservative 8% to be realistic and take into account average long-term returns. After adjusting for inflation, this figure becomes even more significant, because inflation can significantly reduce real profits over time. Note that in this example, the weekly contribution is not increased to account for inflation. That is, $100 a week in the first year is the same $100 a week for the 30th year. We've all heard about the wonders of compound interest, but it's calculations like this that clearly show that the numbers are really working for you, and much faster than you might think. You're already a third of the way to your $1 million goal, but it can actually happen faster than you think. It's not just the math that magically turns your $100,000 into $1 million, but that over time, your capital starts to push itself forward at an incredible rate. There are many other factors that begin to work for you and help accelerate the growth of your income. Once you see your investments skyrocketing, it gives you an incredible boost of motivation. It's impossible not to be thrilled when you watch money literally grow on its own, without the slightest effort on your part. And pretty soon, you start to feel the urge to deposit even more funds to amplify this effect. Every time you get a raise, suddenly spending a large sum on a new car or other expensive item doesn't seem so tempting. Instead, you start thinking about how that money can be invested and made to work for you, even when you're sleeping. It all comes down to a mindset. You begin to see every additional dollar as an opportunity to build your financial future. Instead of wasting money on things that quickly lose value, you're becoming more aware of the power of even the most modest savings and investments. It is like planting a small seed, which over time turns into a huge, strong tree. This understanding allows you to see the value of every dollar you save, not only in the present, but also in what it can become in the future. Unlike those who have never invested even a single dollar, you realize that the money wasted today is essentially tens or even hundreds of dollars lost in the future. And when your income grows, you naturally start to increase your weekly contributions. For example, from $100 to $200. It's like taking it to the next level in the game, where new features and bonuses open up with each step. In real life, more income means more chances for investment, and this opens up a whole world for building a strong financial foundation. Reaching your first $100,000 may seem like the hardest part of the journey, but it's important to understand that once you've reached that amount, you're already about a third of the way to your first $1 million. And if you consider all the factors we talked about earlier, you can reach this goal much faster than you think. The key is to keep faith in the process and follow the plan you choose. Compound interest always rewards those who remain patient and keep moving forward.